Hello and welcome to week 3 of the Sunken Submarine Season 2. I'm Sammy. I'm here with my co-host, David.
Hey.
Hello. And boy, oh boy, do we have a week for you. We have a decent amount of news this week. David and I ended up watching the Fyre Festival documentaries on Netflix and Hulu. So we're going to talk to you guys a little bit about that and kind of how it went down and then our opinions on the whole thing. I wonder what you think about that, David. So then so after the news, we're going to go into our top 5. That's our new category. This week's top 5 category is top 5 70s artists. So
we have to narrow it down to 5. That's the hard part.
It was tough.
That's the hard part.
It was tough because we kind of, before the episode, we were talking about it. And, I mean, the list goes on and on and on. I mean, that's some of the best artists came out of the 70s, so it was difficult. The next section we have is singles. Now, this week, there was maybe 1 or 2 albums released this week, so we struggled finding some albums. So we kind of made up for it, and we're doing basically double the singles this week. I mean, we could go into depth on them, or some of them we'll probably just touch upon. But overall, we have a lot of singles this week, and there was a lot of people making music this week. But just no albums. And then we're gonna hop into the music videos, and then finally we're gonna end it with the song recommendation, because there is no albums this week.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Yeah. So
that's a first for us. I mean, we haven't had a single week without at least like 4 or 5 albums.
It's weird.
And now there's none.
And we're pretty good about finding them too.
Right.
Like we'll search. I mean, I do searches to try and find
and we search different places.
Yeah.
So it's really odd. But there were singles and there was music videos galore, so.
Yeah. Not the greatest of music videos, but we'll talk about that later. So, David, what have you been up to this week? Just in general.
What have I been up to?
Yeah.
Just looking to get jobs, working.
It's cold.
It's cold, yeah. Driving.
Here I am sitting here in shorts.
Drove through all sorts of wrecks just to get here for you guys today, so you're welcome.
Yeah. It's chilly out there. Stay warm. Listen to music inside.
The only thing, it was a bit of a bad week, but it was starting today. When I woke up, I realized it's actually been 13,934 days since John Lennon died.
We're very close to 14,000.
When we get there, what do we probably already talked about this, but got to make a big deal out of it.
Yeah, we'll have a celebration.
We're going to make a cake.
We should. What are we going to put on the cake, though? John Lennon's face.
His face and then a big 14.
I like that.
The 14 candles, for someone that's aged 14.
R.I.P.
John Lennon.
And now for this week's news.
You jump scared me.
Oh, I apologize.
With the sound there. I don't know what that was.
That was just the end of the clip there.
Oh, okay.
So
this week, the first thing we're going to run into is, like Sammy mentioned earlier, is the Fyre fraud, the Fyre failure, the Fyre Festival documentaries.
Yes. Let's kick that. Let's start with that, because there's obviously, it's a good conversation starter for sure.
The best part is, you mention it to anybody, it seems like everyone has something to say.
And everybody's seen it.
Everyone's seen it.
Everybody has already seen this thing.
It's crazy.
So, anyways, basically, the Fyre Festival documentaries were both released within a day from each other on Hulu and Netflix. If you haven't seen it yet, you should probably check it out. And I'm going to give you a spoiler check now, so you can skip over this section if you haven't seen it yet.
Right.
But the festival doesn't happen. Ultimately, I mean, if you should know this, it was in the news. So
If you were online, what year was this? 2014.
No, this is 2016.
That's right. Yeah, because he had 1 year to try to redo it again. Well, that's anyways. Yes, 2016. Basically, the story starts with a guy
Excuse me.
named Billie who wants to start a festival,
Well,
music festival.
yeah, as a promotion. It's a promotion for the app, for the Fyre app.
Yeah, and the Fyre app, I guess, is supposed to help you book artists easily. So it's kind of like a Tinder for artists. You can swipe right or swipe left on if you want this artist to attend your cool event. I guess it's for, I don't know if it's for venues exactly or if it's just for a party or.
Yeah, it's just for a specific price.
Yeah, it's a scam.
Exactly. I was very uncomfortable watching this. And I never get uncomfortable, ever. I'm very laid back. I don't really... And I was squirming in my seat, and I was just... Oh, I hated it.
I was surprised. I'm surprised by that because you normally cringe a lot and freak out about things at all. You're normally laid back, and then
it pushed
this one you're like I don't even want to keep watching.
It pushed my anxiety through the roof. I was freaking out the rest of the day. That I don't know why. I was just it was just oh my gosh.
See, I started to cringe really hard into the Netflix one about halfway through, and then it hit me. I was cringing so hard that I couldn't stop laughing. Every time something went wrong for them, it just cracked me up because the cringe was so hard that it just came out as laughter, and I was laughing out loud by myself watching it.
Oh man, it had to do with the fact that I don't even know. It was clearly their fault that everything went haywire. But I just don't know. They set themselves an impossible feat. That's what it was.
And
it was a great vision. If they could have successfully had done that, imagine how that would have changed the festival industry.
They would have been able to do it they had so much determination to do it that had they had a year or even just added a year on,
they had so much money.
They easily could have pulled it off. It's just the short time frame, I think, that got them. And I genuinely believe that the Billie guy, almost to the end, still thought he was able to pull it off. He thought he was good enough to somehow manage it.
See, I disagree. I thought in the beginning it started out as a vision, and it was a good vision. I mean, everybody was in on it.
Right.
But around halfway, I'd say once they filmed that commercial, that was it. That's when Billie knew it wasn't going to happen in his head, and it was all about the party, the models. It was living that lifestyle.
I don't think that at all.
And, I mean, I
mean, it was about that, definitely, but I don't think that his intentions
that's where a lot of the money went. I mean...
was marketing.
Yeah.
And partying.
And then it was just like they were too drunk to do anything. They probably could have gotten it done in 6 months if they set their minds to it and weren't drinking all the time. I mean, they were partying. That's all they were doing. And their marketing, unbelievable. Their marketing is fantastic. But I don't know. I felt like definitely, I'd say halfway through the campaign, when they started losing money, that's when he started he started scamming hard.
He started scamming hard
with the fobs on the wristbands and the basically lying to investors. I mean, about his wire transfers. I mean, I don't know. It was tough to watch. And in the beginning, I actually felt bad for the guy because I I did see his vision. I got where he was coming from.
Yeah, it's a decent vision.
But by the
Great
end,
vision.
I was like, he only went to jail for 6 years. He should be in jail for life. Do you know how much money? I mean, he just robbed.
It was $100 million, right? That they sued him for at the end.
Well, yeah,
That's
it was $101
insane.
million. If you
And
rob
he's walking around the streets.
that much money and you're only going to jail for 6 years, why can't I rob for that much money? Holy cow!
So what was your opinion before we get too deep? Netflix versus Hulu. Did you have a preference, or did you? Their styles were quite different. Did you have a preference or an opinion on which one to watch if somebody was to just watch one?
I like the Netflix one more. The production value was higher, and the better subject was in Hulu because they have Billie as the interview, right? That's who they're interviewing. So they had the better subject, meaning the person.
Yeah.
But Netflix, in all other aspects, had a better production. I mean, they had the entire fire crew. They had everybody that was there trying to put on the event. Their actual production, the film quality, things like that, were all better done. I mean, and they didn't have to revert to other footage as much.
Yeah. They had to overlap some footage from just like cell phone videos.
Yeah.
But there's nothing they can do about that.
So, and that being said, I found it interesting how much of a pathological liar Billie is in the Hulu.
That was crazy.
In the Hulu documentary, because anytime he was asked something where he couldn't answer, he'd either say, "I can't answer that," or he just would go silent.
Well, it was for legal reasons, I think.
No, there were some times where, they'd just say, why'd you do it? And he just wouldn't answer.
I think he's being smart there. I think he knows what he can and can't say.
He was already going to jail. He was already convicted by that point. They already said that.
That's true. Yeah,
he was already
point.
convicted. So there's nothing that he would have said that made him look more of a villain already, unless he was doing something else.
And they
under
said
the
he
table.
admitted guilty to everything that they accused him.
Yeah.
Or, plenty of things they accused him for that he denied in the.
So it wouldn't have really have affected him.
Okay,
it's just
that's fair.
he can't tell the truth. Period. And then there was that one point where in the Hulu one where he says something and then it goes not true, and then he says something else and then it goes not true.
That's because he goes, why name one. They asked you, have you always been a liar, and he goes, name one time I lied to you, and then it goes through a list.
Yeah,
this time,
and it was all within that interview, which was interesting. I don't know, and so that was the cool part with the Hulu one. The Netflix one though, I really like how they had the gay friend in there. Everybody needs a gay friend like that guy. That guy was willing to just pour his life out for the team.
Oh, my gosh. That was one of the funniest scenes.
And, yeah, everybody needs a gay friend in their life, for sure, after that. And I really I felt a little more of an attachment, a connection with the characters, the people in the Netflix one. And I felt like they truly believed in whatever Billie believed in, and they were scammed. I think they got the worst end of it, in my opinion. You work for someone, and you bust your butt to make sure that production is great and that you can put on this festival. You're spending money, but you got to get it done, and it doesn't happen, and it happens the way it did, right?
Right.
And they were just scammed to the end, and that has to stink to be on the. You can never put that on your resume. You can't put "I worked for Fire" app. You just can't.
Do you think there's any way that? I have no idea who made these. I didn't look into it. Do you think there's any way that somehow Billie's involved in these coming out?
I saw something like that.
Because it said
the festival was never supposed to happen. It was only to produce a Netflix and Hulu documentary.
It said on the Hulu one, they mentioned that he was trying to make a redemption video to try to get the money back.
Well, and the other one, the Netflix one, is funded by Fyre app.
I did not know that. That's very interesting.
I found that out. I Googled it.
So it totally could be. So what I thought about Netflix versus Hulu is similar to yours. I think Hulu had twice as much information about the event. I think that it was more of like, if you want to know the facts, here they are. And the Netflix one was way more entertaining and a way better story. It had a great start and great finish, while Hulu was just more focused on information.
Oh, I totally agree with that. The Hulu one focused on the business aspects of it. The Netflix one focused on the story.
So if you want to be entertained or cringe like crazy, definitely Netflix is where you should go for that.
It's tough. It's tough. Yeah, so that's basically where I sit with it. Anything you wanted to add to Fyre documentary?
How are they planning on getting power at the, like, how are you, the random Cuban island? I don't know. None of it made sense. Nothing made sense.
Nothing made sense.
And I have no idea how they were able to make such of a mess out of it.
It could have been the event of a lifetime. It really could have been. And
I know what I want to say that we both agreed on before this. If there was one winner out of this whole experience,
yes,
it's Ja Rule. Ja Rule did the partying for 6 months. All the booze that they bought, he got to party with them on the boat with the girls, and he's off scot-free.
Yeah, and he was he was the business partner. He was the second face to all of it.
In fact, I bet this gained him publicity as well. I bet more people listen to his music after this event, after these documentaries.
Yeah. He came out on top easily. He did everything right. And yeah, there was one more thing I wanted to add too was I still feel bad for the people that paid for these tickets and went and wanted the experience of a lifetime.
Yeah.
Like, I feel bad for them. There's people that I've been talking to that think it's funny because it's rich people getting the butt end of it. And I just don't find that funny at all, because imagine if any of us were in that situation. Like, that is the worst possible situation. You're stranded on an island. I don't know.
The lowest on the totem pole of people who got screwed over, I think, is probably the people on the island that are native to the island.
Oh yeah.
They had it on the day that one guy said was like their Christmas there, their biggest day of the year, and it ruined their day. A lot of them, because many of them were working there, and then
they didn't even get paid.
So
tough. It was so hard to watch.
But it's funny to watch Billie just have thing after thing, and once the rain starts,
and every time he says, we'll be fine. No big deal.
His wire fraud is unbelievable, too. Just sending people a receipt saying, I did it, but he just made a fake receipt.
Yeah. And it was like, $1.5 million versus what it should cost was, what was it, $42 million? Jeez. That is crazy to me.
Well, that is the Fyre fraud.
Check it out.
I recommend it.
Hulu and Netflix.
You've already seen it, so I don't know why I'm recommending it, because
everyone's seen it.
If you're taking the time to listen to this, you've already seen it.
True.
The next thing in our news this week is just funny to me, and that's why it's in here. Ariana Grande's 7 Rings came out last week or 2 weeks ago, I think, and she got a tattoo on her hand. It's actually, you can see it right here, of symbols of, I forget what language it's in.
It looks like Japanese or Chinese.
And the symbols, if you put something in between them, it's supposed to mean 7 rings, but the tattoo artist screwed up, or whoever gave the information to the tattoo artist screwed up, and it actually just means small charcoal grill. So she has a permanent tattoo on her body that says
Smokey Joe.
Smokey, yeah, small charcoal grill. It's so funny.
That's so sad.
Oh, man. That album comes out next week, by the way.
Yes, I'm excited for it. Because the 2 singles she's released so far, I have enjoyed.
Yeah, both were really good, weren't they?
We'll see.
Ariana is also getting sued because of a picture of a candle that she had. She was like in the music video for God is a Woman. She's like dancing on as a candle wick on a candle, and some artist from like 2004 drew a picture that looked the same. So they're like saying she copied it. It looks pretty similar, but is what it is.
You're not gonna get much out of that, I don't think. But
no,
we'll see. I don't know. The next piece of news we have is Lady Gaga was surprised by Bradley Cooper during her live performance in Las Vegas. And they ended up singing Shallow together. And she was super excited about it. And she basically, I don't know, it was just really cool to see. And, I mean, to me, I think it's just a publicity stunt because the Oscars were just announced. Now they're trying to actually win a few.
Yeah.
Not like the Golden Globes. So, it was actually really good live. It was basically the same thing. So,
still, can you imagine that? How awesome that would be if you're a fan of the movie and you just see him pop up on stage.
Oh yeah,
I'd
be so excited. I'd be so excited, and even if you weren't a fan of like the movie, or even if you weren't a fan of him, you still have. A lot of people have seen this movie.
Yeah.
So everybody knows this song and everything. So
that's awesome. And then the last bit of news is the Beatles just had their 50th anniversary from their last concert date. So like their last concert was, I can't remember where it actually was.
On a rooftop.
Was it?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It was on an apartment complex rooftop. I don't know what city. Probably Liverpool, I would guess.
So 50 years ago today they weren't touring anymore. I mean, they're that old now, I guess. And then it was also just released that there is a movie coming out by the end of the year that's a rundown, a little documentary about the last recording session that they ever had. Apparently there was footage of the last recording session that they ever did together for Let It Be. So that the movie's going to be called Let It Be. And somehow the footage hasn't been released. And many people thought during this time that they were arguing, and that's like when the band was ending and all that. But the guy who made it said there's a little bit here and there, but for the most part, they were happy and just create good music. So
I'm really, I think you and I have had this conversation before, but I'm really excited, and I really hope that we start getting more movies on musicians. I think that would be really cool. We got the Queen movie. We're getting an Elton John movie. I hope we're starting, you know how like Marvel was a huge thing for a little bit. Disney princess movies was a huge thing for a little bit. I'm really hoping that a musician-esque movie genre starts up. I think that would be amazing.
They could make a really good Beatles one, but right now Paul McCartney's still alive, so I feel like they might.
But you could use him. I mean, the majority of Queen is still alive, except for Freddie Mercury. So you could use him to actually get the facts right and produce good content. I don't know. I really like that this is probably around the corner. So All right, so the next section we are running. Uh-oh. Yeah, we're on top 5, right?
Yeah.
Top 5? Top 5, yes. Everything's working out. All right, so the next section we're running is top 5. And we are doing top 5 70s artists.
Ooh.
So David and I were having a bit of trouble eliminating some people. So we came to the conclusion that we would omit people that we agreed on our initial lists. And apparently we matched up a lot, right? So our initial list had Queen, obviously, in my opinion, one of the best bands of all time. It had the Eagles, Bob Marley, and Eric Clapton. Those were our initial agreements. And then we said, all right. And then he read his list off to me, and I said, okay, none of ours match anymore. So here are our top 5 with specific bands that were omitted because David and I agreed. David, how about you kick us off? What's your number 5?
My number 5 is one that I don't necessarily want to have on here, but because of who I am, I need to have it on here. And that is Jimmy Buffett. I wish I didn't have him on here. He's on here.
Every time you bring him up, your credibility just goes.
That's why I wish I didn't. But you know what? I love Jimmy Buffett, so I just don't fit him in the category of a 70s elite band, though. I think of him as like a great concert time, but because he is technically from that age, and that was his prime, I have to put him as my 5.
All right. My number 5 is Styx.
Really?
Yes.
Styx, great band.
Great
That's
band.
a good choice.
I've seen them live back a long time ago, actually. And, I mean, I could barely remember it, but I remember going to the concert. And I just like their music. So, that's all.
Cool.
Yeah.
What's your favorite song?
It's got to be Come Sail Away.
Okay.
I mean, that's
it's
everyone's
fantastic.
favorite. So I'll go right into my number 4. My number 4 is AC/DC.
Down, 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 down.
Back in black. I had to say so loud.
Oh my gosh, my voice used to be able to do that. I don't know what's going on.
Back in black.
Okay. Any reason? Just love them?
I love them, and as you know, I will play them to amp me up and get ready to go out and have a good time.
Do you are you a Thunder player? Do you play Thunder?
Oh yeah. I play Thunderstruck.
That's what. Thunderstruck.
Yeah, Thunderstruck. Yeah, it's a good game. I'm just a big fan. I love like Hell's Bells. I don't know. They have a bunch of good songs. They're top 15 everybody knows.
I feel like your favorite type of song is one that gets your blood running, like gets you like amped up. I feel like that's usually your top genre of things you like to listen to.
Maybe.
Not genre, but type.
I don't know. They're my number 4. Like,
I know, but when you go through people you like sometimes, like you like Waka Flocka.
I only like him to pump me up. His music is not that good.
Okay.
I know that. But I love his music to pump me up. But AC/DC is different. Their music is good.
My number 4 on the list is Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
We actually mentioned them last week. I just bought a vinyl by them.
Yeah, you did.
So, therefore, I mean, these are current views. So right now I'm in like a little like Yes phase. I'm just listening to them. I don't know what I would say. I really like Heart of the Sunrise. It's not a well-known song. Even Yes fans might not know that song that well, but I really like that song.
You were playing that for me last week or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like that how experimental they were, trying out different electric sounds.
I
Just
feel
really
that.
like it.
Yeah.
It's funkadelic.
Oh, the tables have turned. David's using my words over there.
Oh, how the turntables.
The table turns. Going into your number 3, David.
Oh, number 3. This is also a more modern pick for me. James Taylor. I've started to. I didn't know about him until like last summer, and I started listening to him. Real mellow, relaxed music. Again, it's not what I think of as like an elite superstar 70s, but I really like his style of music. It's just good, gets you in a good mood, makes you feel like you're on vacation somewhere.
Hey, that's your type of music.
Yeah.
Vacation music. Jimmy Buffett's on your list. Are you kidding me?
What's your number 3?
So my number 3 is Aerosmith. I love Aerosmith. I always have. They were actually the first oldie classic band that I discovered as a kid.
Really?
So,
That's interesting.
Yeah. So that's why it is a little sentimental when it comes to them. So when I saw them, I go, well, I got to put them in there. So
Aerosmith is like the most classic of classic rock that you can get, I feel like.
Oh yeah. They're up there.
Like some of them that I'm mentioning are like kind of out there. Like they're a little off the beaten path, I guess. Aerosmith is just fantastic.
Yeah.
Number 2?
Oh, my number 2. Sorry. Number 2 is Beach Boys. I couldn't believe it when you came up with your top 5 that you did not put Beach Boys on that list.
I told you I just completely missed it. I'm going to see Brian Wilson, who wrote all of Pet Sounds.
Yeah.
Now I will say, what do you think your favorite Beach Boys song is? And this might be why I didn't think of it.
I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. A majority of the popular Beach Boys songs were from the 60s.
True. But, I mean, they were known. I mean, they are a 70s band.
Yeah, they were well known in the 70s, and like I think Kokomo was probably in the 70s, a few of their later.
And they were touring, too. Like, all their stuff came out, 66?
Yeah. Well, Pet Sounds was 1966. That's got like Good Vibrations and
67, 69. But so they were touring in the 70s too.
Right. So that might have been why it didn't cross my mind right away, but
I get that.
I love the Beach Boys.
Yep.
I was when we started this list, I started to look it up and go like, wait, were they 70s?
They had a 70s album.
Yeah, they had.
Yeah.
They still some of them still make albums. Brian Wilson
yeah, exactly.
still makes albums, and
yep.
I think this is going to be his last tour this year. His farewell tour.
Enjoy it.
And it's called Pet Sounds, so I think he's going to play all those.
Good.
We'll see.
All right, so it was your number 2 or 3. Where are we? Where are you?
I'm at number 2 now.
You're at number 2.
My number 2 is Pink Floyd.
I'm not a fan of Pink Floyd.
I don't get that at all.
Pink Floyd. I don't get their music.
Pink Floyd is like, they're like no other band. It's so calculated, their music, I feel like, to just bring you from wherever you are. We're in this room now. You listen to Pink Floyd, you're in another state of mind. It takes you to this place like no other music does. Maybe that's just me. I think other people feel the same way, but it's crazy. And it's beautiful. It's good.
Oh, their target audience is your pothead generic. And you sound like one of them. You really do.
I will say, listening to their music, you feel like you're high even if you're not.
I don't get that. Their music does not resonate with me, and it's weird. It's just weird to me. It's a weird style that I have never really caught on to.
Huh.
I don't know. And I know that's an unpopular opinion. I understand that, but it's just the way I felt. All right, for the number 1.
Number 1 for me is
3, 2, 1, Boston.
Doobie Brothers.
I knew the Doobie Brothers.
I knew yours was going to be Boston.
I was surprised that the Doobie Brothers were not on the list. Or when I haven't heard it yet, it had to have been number 1.
Okay, yeah.
For you.
I figured that for
So-
Boston too, because
Well, you
for
know,
vinyls.
I have
you-
every Boston album.
Sammy, what vinyl should we play today? Oh,
Boston.
We haven't played Boston in a while.
It's like we just played it yesterday.
That's a good pick. It doesn't surprise me in the least for you, but
And they were a 70s band. They were a late 70s band, so it's perfect. So,
Doobie Brothers is because my dad loved them.
well, you have a bunch of Doobie Brother albums.
I got to see him live. Got a bunch of albums. They're a band that respects the art of jamming without having it all planned out and calculated. Like when they perform, they'll play a song.
So you have somebody that is very planned out and calculated, which is what you just said, Pink Floyd.
Yeah.
And then you have somebody that
Yeah.
is not planned out and calculated,
Yeah.
and that's the Doobie Brothers.
And I love it. You watch their concert, they'll play the song, pause, jam for a while, and I doubt they're repeating the same stuff every night. I could be completely wrong. And then they'll go back into the song again.
I like that, though. I like that a lot.
So you get less songs performed, but more just musicians being their best. We are now going to run through this week's new singles, starting with Not Over You by Brett Young. And this is a song that has already been out for a while now. I'm not exactly sure how long, a year or so. And
It's not his song, though.
is that what it is?
Yeah.
I was listening to it and I knew this
Do
song.
you ask me how I'm doing, and I say I'm doing just fine.
In my head, I was like,
Who
this
sings
seems
that? Who
so
sings that? The actual song.
No matter what I was so
I'm
confused.
not over you. Is it? It can't be Jason Mraz.
Gavin DeGraw.
Gavin DeGraw. Okay.
That
So-
makes so much sense. I was like,
Yeah, it's
I was
not
like,
his
this
song.
is a country song? I totally remember this
So
song.
what it is he did like the Spotify live session, and I just thought this would be interesting to like kick us off because I don't know.
Yeah.
It was like you know how they do all bands do these Spotify
like
live sessions.
They just go in like a small
and they
room
do just random songs. And even Zach Brown Band has a couple just random songs. Some of my favorite songs one of my favorite songs by them is from a Spotify live session.
Which one is that?
Cover Me Up. I love that song. And it's not their song. That's someone else's song.
I didn't realize that. I know that one too.
So anyways, that's just why I thought I'd put that one in there. So
yeah.
the next single we have is by George Strait. It is called God and Country Music. David, what did you think of this one?
It's George Strait. What can you say? It's got to be gold.
It's classic. I mean, I just love something that I've always admired about him is that he sticks to his roots. I mean, all of his music sounds like him. You know
Right.
what his music
And
is.
and his lyrics, he's not changing it to be modern at all. It's still about church and God and honky tonks and
yeah,
whatever.
it's classic. So, anyways, yeah, I thought that was just cool that he's still making music. Old fart.
And then New Farts, we got a song by Florida Georgia Line featuring Jason Derulo, and it is called Women. And I thought this was quite interesting
I liked
to
it.
mix these two people together.
It's such a
And it's a good song. What did you think? Go ahead.
it's such a unique dynamic. That's what I was going to say was you have Jason Derulo, kind of pop, mainly R&B, kind of a guy, and then Florida Georgia Line. I just think when they come together, Florida Georgia Line does a lot of that experimental country. They're more of like a poppier country, but they do experiments with random people.
Seems to me like they're just having fun.
Haley
They just
Steinfeld,
want to make
I
what
mean,
they can.
Exactly, and they're
Bebe
they're
Rexha.
just Bebe Rexha.
Yeah,
Yeah. They just do these random, features, and I think that's really cool. That's something that I think the country industry needs. So
So the song delves into like you start life loving your mom, and then you start, if you're a guy, you start, I should say, some guys start liking girls, and then it just carries on through the story of
Yeah.
how women are in a man's life.
So the next song we have is called... Sorry, I have to change the slides too. I've Been Waiting by Lil Peep, and it's his song, and it's featuring I Love Mackinnon and Fall Out Boy. Now, what I find interesting is that it's Lil Peep's song. He has a little portion in the song. Initially, you put down I Love Mackinnon as it was his song.
Yeah, the charts website got it wrong. That wasn't my mishap.
But
they also spelled his name wrong.
I don't blame them. I don't blame them for having that wrong, because Lil Peep doesn't have really that big of a part in the song.
Right.
So I just found that interesting. And we watched who's the guy that does the reviews? You don't like him.
Anthony Fantano.
Anthony Fantano, yeah. So we watched his review on this song. Not that we're trying to publicize someone else, but we watched his review, and I really did agree with kind of the fact that Fall Out Boy kind of, I don't know, just didn't sound that good in this song.
So if this is Lil Peep's song, does that mean he reached out to Fall Out Boy himself?
I think so.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I mean, that surprises me a little bit.
I like this song.
It's a good song.
I like this song. It's got a kind of just an upbeat. I like that. So, and I love Mackinnon is amazing. I love them in everything they do. So,
all right. The next one on the list is Low Key by Ally Brooke featuring Tyga. And it's also a music video this week, so we're going to get into the video part of that a little later. But the song itself, what do you think?
I love the old Latina vibe it gave me. That background music is kind of like a tango song. And I love that. And I just thought that it worked well.
Low Key, it sounds like vinyl.
Low key?
Like it's skipping over and over again. Like it spins around and then it skips back. And I mean, it's a loop.
It was repetitive,
but
yes.
it sounds low key, like a. It just sounds like a loop. Like some loops, they do a good job of when it repeats, but it sounds cool. It sounds old fashioned, and it sounds like it's from a record player in my mind for whatever reason.
The next single we have is My Valentine, Soulja Boy in 24 Hours. It's Soulja Boy's song. It's featuring 24 Hours.
The next song is... Did you like this song?
Next song is...
Not at all. By JCO.
JCO? JCO?
That sounds good.
JCO.
We'll go with that.
Because C is CE. CE.
And
Stafford Brothers featuring Waka Flocka. Bow, bow, bow. Big squad! Flocka!
I'm not going to lie. I enjoyed this song. I enjoyed Flocka's part in it especially.
He bangs. What can I say?
That he bangs.
Yep. I don't... Like you said, I like songs that pump me up, and this is a good pump-me-up song, but I don't think it's that great of a song. But maybe that's just me.
Not at all.
You just said you liked it.
The name of the song is Not at All.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm sorry.
All right, so the next song is by Lil Peep, and it is called Racks on Racks.
Lil Pump.
Lil Pump. Lil Peep was earlier. This song's by Lil Pump. I even put the picture of him up there. By Lil Pump, called Racks on Racks. I like this song now. Now, if we're talking out of the rap songs we have here, this is the best one.
looking at the rest of the list. Yeah, this one's pretty good.
It's just Lil Pump knows how to make a banger, and he knows how to make it good, and I like that. I like Lil Pump. I'm a Lil Pump fan.
That's funny. I never thought you'd be one of the new a fan of any of the new Lils.
It's weird. It's weird. He gets me going, and I just love it. It's exhilarating.
Cruising through, we got Bestie as the next one, which is Bad. I guess it's supposed to be.
It's Bad Baby. Bad Baby.
Baby. I don't know why. Is that how you spell it?
Yeah, Bad
All
Baby.
Right. And featuring Kodak Black.
You know who Bad Baby is, right?
Nah.
Catch Me Outside. How about that?
Oh, that's what?
Yeah, that's her.
All
right. You didn't listen to this, did you?
No, I didn't.
That's
hear
all
this
right.
one.
You weren't missing much.
Okay.
Kodak Black. The only thing I wanted to make on comment on this was that Kodak Black's verse would have been great. It's great on that beat, and it would have been great in any song. It just so happens it's in Bad Baby's song called Bestie, and she's a little obnoxious. Not gonna lie there. Oh wait, hold on. I didn't go to the next slide. Wait. There's your cover right there. Bestie, Bad Baby, featuring Kodak Black. The next song we have is by Galantis, featuring One Republic, called Bones.
Lots of good features this week.
Yeah. I like this song.
This one was fantastic.
It didn't have it started to pick up at one point, but it never had a Galantis drop, right? So that was surprising to me, but I didn't mind that because it was upbeat, kept going.
But the rest of it still sounded more like a Galantis song than a One Republic song, which makes sense.
Oh,
I mean,
easily.
they made it.
Yeah.
But yeah, just some good vocals from One Republic, and
I'm going to be assuming they'll have a music video coming out within the next week for this. They're pretty good about that. So
yeah. The next one on here is one of my favorites this week, personally, but it's very typical for AJR in a lot of ways, but it's called 100 Bad Days. Lyrically, this song is not good. It's just straight up. It's not good lyrically. But I'm a big fan of especially their bridge that played at the beginning as the intro to this. They have such a unique way of crafting their electronic sounds that just, I don't know. I feel like some bands pull it off sometimes, and they pull it off every time they put it together.
yeah, they're very good as a unit. I believe they're brothers. I'm not sure though. But they're very good as a unit, and they all help each other out. Like the lyrics, without the, techno sounds probably wouldn't sound that great. The techno sounds probably wouldn't sound that great without the bass guitarist. They all favor one another, and that dynamic really works out well for them. And
right.
I also like this song as well. I was really excited. That was the very first thing I put on our little doc this week. I put it because they released the song on Tuesday on YouTube.
Huh. And it wasn't on Spotify
it wasn't on
or
anything
yet?
else. It wasn't even on Apple yet.
That's weird.
It was only on YouTube, and I immediately snatched it like that, and I go, oh no way, they're coming out with music. So, and I like AJR a lot, obviously.
I haven't heard them in a while, so when I heard this, I was like,
good change of
I
pace.
started listening to them a little bit more. Plus, just the idea behind it is that the lyrics keep repeating, 100 bad days make 100 good stories, and good stories make me interesting at parties. Just makes me think of
story of my life.
Makes me think of all the people that went to Fyre Festival and they had a horrible day, but now they've got a great story to tell. So what, are they
really? It's in a documentary.
Are they really at a loss?
Exactly. All right, David, what's our next single?
This one I saw someone sent to me. I don't even remember anymore. Quinn XCII with John Bellion. It's called Life Must Go On. John Bellion, his vocals aren't in the song. I have a feeling he made it, the beat, produced
His
it.
vocals are kind of in it, though.
Yeah, you get his high-pitched little
Yeah.
yee
And he's like a backup singer, basically. I like it. I like this song.
Yeah, it was good. I'm gonna see Quinn in March 1st here. We already saw him live together. Highly recommend him if you haven't yet. He's up and coming for sure. He's already big, but he's gonna blow up, I think.
Agreed. I mean, he makes really good music. It has nothing, the quality of his music is well done. That's why he doesn't release albums as often, is because he'll release these. So he's I looked at David today and I go, isn't that an EP? But, it's like 4 singles. But this is over the course since October. One of the singles on there was called Werewolf. That came out last October.
Yeah, because you said you already knew it.
So it's interesting to see that he really doesn't release albums. And the issue and the thing is it's because he is so dedicated to making quality music. So
it's kind of funny to me to see them doing this together just because I've only been to the House of Blues in Cleveland one time. And it was to see John Bellion. Now I'm going to that same place again to see Quinn. This is kind of funny to me.
Well,
ironic.
Let me know how that goes. You're going to let the whole episode.
I'll
be an
probably
episode.
Talk about
so.
it. But we got another concert before that we'll be talking about.
True.
So.
We're going to Bryce Vine, baby. All right, so the next single we have is hold on. Bury a Friend by Billie Eilish. What'd you think?
Bury a Friend.
We watched the music video together. It was that horror-esque.
Oh. This one was cool. The song was so different.
Don't talk about the music video. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, the song itself was so different.
I mean,
I
this
don't
is
know
her
this
style.
artist.
This is her style.
Yeah, I don't know this artist at
She
all.
has blown up, dude. She hasn't even released an album yet, and she is just destroying the charts. I'm going in right now to check it.
Nothing else sounds like her. I mean,
it's such
I've never heard something that sounds like that.
And she is loved upon all cultures. Everybody
so,
loves her.
Even just the music itself is just creepy. It's creepy and ominous and just...
You've heard of her. When the Party's Over.
Don't tell me what I've heard.
And Lovely with Khalid, whatever people call him. You had to hear. She's been all over the charts. And I know you listen to the top charts.
Yeah, I do.
So I guarantee you've heard her.
Do we get a sample here? Or?
You want one?
Yeah. Which one is this?
When the Party's Over. This is the entire song.
I've never heard this.
What? Here, hold on.
No.
Not at all. All right. Well, that's very surprising, David.
But I've heard that name before.
Because that was on the charts.
I know that
is
name.
her #1 song.
Huh.
So,
Anyways, I liked this one.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of her.
The next song is "Ready to Let Go" by they claim it's Cage the Elephant. I don't know. Did you think it sounded like them?
Not at all. It sounded better. I loved it. I really like this song.
It sounded more well produced than some of the at least popular Cage the Elephant songs. They keep getting better, but like some of their older songs sound very amateur, like recorded and made. It's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I just the singer didn't even sound like himself.
Yeah, it might have been put into a little auto tune or
it had to
voice
have been, because it
correction
just
of some
didn't
sort.
sound right, which is not a bad thing.
No, it was good.
I liked it. I liked it. It was good for a change.
I love Cage. No, I I love Cage the Elephant. I'm not saying just because their quality before was different that it was bad. I think Cage the Elephant's one of the better alternative bands of our time.
Agree to disagree.
Interesting.
I saw him live, and I didn't like him at all.
That's real interesting.
So, I mean, guy's a lunatic. He is just crazy.
But so is Freddie Mercury.
That was a different type of crazy. That was a different type of crazy. All right. The next single we have is by Empire of the Sun, and it is called Chrysalis? Chrysalis? Chrysalis?
Mary Chrysler. Mary Moss.
Chrysalis.
Chrism.
Chrysalis.
You know, that video is not funny.
I love it. I think it's hilarious.
I don't think it's funny at all.
Oh, I think it is funny. I like it.
I love quoting it, but watching it, I've never showed it to a person and had them laugh. Ever. And I've showed it to more people than I'd like to admit.
You could probably show it to me, and I'd probably laugh at it. I just find it hilarious. Anyways, this song is our Funkadelic song of the week, easily. I love the beat. I mean, obviously, it's Empire of the Sun, so they're more of a weird Funkadelic group. But you have no room to talk. You dropped it before me this week.
Yeah, but I actually use other words sometimes.
So anyway, oh yeah, okay. Mm-hmm. So anyways, I liked this song. I would really I want to see it live. And I looked up what that word means, and that word means caterpillar.
Whoa.
So maybe they're coming out with a butterfly album.
Maybe they'll have a caterpillar costume, like the dragons you get on New Year's Eve for China.
What?
Where there's like all the bandmates are in a giant caterpillar costume on stage.
Well, there's only two.
All right, what's a really short caterpillar?
What if one's a caterpillar and then it births out a butterfly, and that's the other person?
Whoa. I thought this song was like a fresh shower. It was.
That's what you're gonna refer to?
It's better than Funkadelic. No, what I mean by that is like it was nice to hear something that sounded, I don't want to say different again, because that's what I used to describe the previous one, Bury a Friend, but it's a sound that's not the constant pop sound that you get in your ears every week. So it's a refreshing song to hear.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
I agree. Oh, wait. Did I even... Oh, I did switch to PowerPoint. I'm on my game today, baby.
Whoop.
All right, the last one is American Authors, Calm Me Down. This song did nothing for me. David?
It didn't do anything for me because I couldn't find it.
We played it here together.
When?
It was the very first song we played when you walked in.
Clearly, it was really good.
Yeah. Did the job for you, too.
I spent a while trying to find it. It wasn't on Spotify last night.
Well, anyways, that sums up our week in singles. There's obviously much more, but these were the ones that we thought were recognizable to mention. Feel free to check out more. As we said before, there really aren't any albums, so we're going to skip right over albums and go into music videos. All right, so this week we got some music videos. None of them really stood out to me, but we're going to go over them and just kind of review every one of them. So I'll kick us off. We will get started. We're not recording video, I don't think.
What'd you just stand up there for then?
I don't know. Oh, we're recording video.
All right. So should we keep rolling?
Yeah, let's keep it rolling. So, the first music video we're going to start off with is Giant by Calvin Harris and Rag and Bone Man. I really like the shots in the forest of Calvin Harris.
Like in the fishing boat?
In the fishing boat. It was just, every shot was very crisp.
Unbelievably. Color-wise, too.
Oh, my gosh. And the other thing that I found interesting, and this is, David and I have no idea what this music video actually means, right?
I don't.
But what I found interesting is Calvin Harris is wearing neutral colors the entire time. He is wearing yellow or something of that nature, right? Anything that is not blue or red. And then you've got your main character in blue running. Then you got your people on horses in red. And then in the very end of the entire music video, Calvin Harris is wearing a camouflage that is blue and red camo.
Ah, yeah, that's right.
That's the first thing I caught on to. But I really liked that he was not, he had neutral colors the entire time, like a yellow or an orange. He never really was committed to a specific color.
So the main theme seemed to have something to do with his mom being on some sort of pills or medication, probably pain pills or something like that she might be addicted to, and he runs away from
everything.
From everything.
Yeah.
His thoughts go somewhere else. My favorite part is very similar to yours. When he's in the boat, but especially when somehow all the fish jump up out of the water. That looks so cool.
Oh, that is the coolest thing. And I don't know, I was trying to think if that was edited or what. It had to have been edited in post, but it looked really well done.
It looked real.
It looked real.
Why did he meet the girl in the woods?
I don't know.
Who was the girl?
I told you I think it was just his imagination.
Just hoping he would meet a girl?
He just needs to get out.
Yeah.
So our next music video is Say Something by Justin Timberlake and Chris Stapleton. I came to discover later on that this is, this music video came out a while ago, and I knew that. But apparently they released, what would you say, a first take?
This is the first take, so they did several takes because it's a one-take video. There's no obvious cuts, at least. So I'm sure they had to do it many times. I don't know how many, probably a lot. And their first take seemed like it was pretty good. So I don't know exactly why they had to do a bunch, but
unless it was just well rehearsed and they want the song to get big. So they're re-releasing a music video. I don't know.
I'm glad he re-released it because I didn't know this song.
Oh, really?
And I like the song a lot.
Yeah, I was a big fan. I mean, you knew when that album Man in the Woods came out. I was super pumped about it.
The very beginning reminded me of a John Bellion video because he's hit. You know the live sessions for John Bellion?
Yeah.
He's hitting the thing.
The drum pad.
And he's wearing the beanie.
Yep. I know exactly what you were talking about. What's our next music video?
The next one in here is called Dancing with a Stranger by Sam Smith. He's a weird-looking dude. He's wearing a turtleneck and he's swiping on this like virtual Tinder of there's like virtual girls on him and in his house and
guys too.
Were there guys in there as well?
Yeah, there were guys too.
That did nothing for me. I mean,
I liked the dancing scene of the girl dancing. I
yeah,
thought that was really
what's
cool.
her name? It didn't.
I don't know. I don't
she's
even know
featured
if
in it.
Is she?
Yeah, she was in the song.
Obviously, but I don't know if she was credited. Normani is who that was.
Oh, I've heard of Normani.
I've never heard of her.
She did a phenomenal job of dancing. I agree. She's clearly a trained dancer.
Yeah, and she was talented.
You could tell by the way that she would come up with her arms.
She was in Fifth Harmony. That's how she got her fame. So.
Got it. Mostly lame video, boo.
Yeah. I mean, it was, I liked the blue filters. That's all. very specific random comment, but that's about it. All right, so the next one is Black Eyed Peas. I believe it was called Vibrations Part 1 and 2. Am I correct on that?
Yes, you are.
All right, and I thought this one had a lot of potential with the whole frame of the shot was I thought that had great potential.
There seems to be a theme that they do where they change up the aspect ratio because the one video was like a cell phone screen.
Yeah. And I just liked their uniqueness, but the music video itself, I mean, what is it? 8 minutes long, and it was almost like they were repeating shots at one point. They went back to kind of the three standing in a line, 1, 2, 3, in like a diagonal formation.
Yeah. And
that shot was there, at least 9 times. I was counting it.
They could have made it more interesting. You see those commercials that say filmed on an iPhone or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
This could have been way better just on like a flip phone.
Probably.
The quality was low. I mean, I'm sure it was for an artistic reason, but it just didn't look good.
I agree.
I don't know. This actually came out last Friday, and we just missed it.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I know, and I put it in here because I wanted to make sure that we still covered it.
Okay, just making sure.
What's our next music video, David?
Next one we have on here is one that came out today called Hard White by Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj.
And that was also our lead-in song, just for anybody listening.
Right. So the song came out previously, 2018 at some point, whenever our last album was. And this video came out...
Queen is what it was called.
And... I don't know. What do you have to say about it? The article I saw said that there were shots at Drake in this because there was a scorpion, and then the scorpion broke into pieces at one point. I don't know.
I think that's stretching it. I mean, I told you, I don't even know if there's beef between her and Drake. I didn't know there was. If there is, I don't know.
If there is, it's very subtle, clearly.
I think this one may have been my music video of the week, though.
Really?
Yep. I loved it almost looked like a diamond, and you were viewing Nicki Minaj rapping, singing through the diamond, and it had different layers of her. I like that. No, it's not on our picture here, but I liked that. I liked that she was wearing different crowns in every shots.
Mm-hmm.
I liked the quick cuts. I don't know. Overall, I thought this one, although, no, I lied. Never mind. Never mind. We didn't put it on here. That's why.
Which one is that?
My favorite one. We'll actually, you know what? We don't even have a slide for it, but we're just going to talk about it briefly. Right now was Billie Eilish.
Oh, that's right.
That was my favorite one, and it was the single that she Bury a Friend. That was my favorite. That was easily my favorite music video. That was very good video. And it's like a horror scene, basically, which is kind of her style, and it was just really cool. Really cool. All the effects in it, everything was the coolest thing, and I don't know if you caught on to this or not, but one of the coolest things is she's got to be in some type of hallway that rotates, and her feet were stuck to whatever she was on, and she rotates, and her hair, and she was clearly being flipped.
I don't know how they did that.
And her hair, that was the coolest shot.
Well, the hallway was moving too.
I know, and I'm
no, not with her though. It was stagnant. It was her spinning.
I don't know how they did it.
I don't know either.
Because it would be different if you just took the camera and spun it, right? Because anybody can do that. But her hair was moving along with wherever she was. That's how you know that it was her moving.
And there was
that was sweet.
She's got to be using ridiculous like ab muscles, but her face was like she wasn't even trying.
That was a really cool shot. Anyways, overall, that music video, the story behind it, everything about it was easily my favorite music video of the week.
Yeah, that one was neat. It had really creepy, cool visuals, and the sound matched with it perfectly.
All right, what's our next music video, David?
Put a Date on It by Yo Gotti and Lil Baby.
Didn't stand out to me.
Not too much for me. They say put a date on it a lot, unsurprisingly. It wasn't bad.
He is.
I wouldn't say it's a loser of the week.
That initial shot, what you guys are seeing right now if you're watching YouTube, but that initial shot of kind of the cover photo of the video, I really thought had a lot of potential. And, he's sitting on a throne in a fur coat with two, white butlers. I thought that was going to make this video. But then everything outside of this shot was just nothing.
Yeah, the video is awful. The video is terrible.
It had potential.
It had potential. At one point, he says, your uncle was a rat, and then it shows a guy with rats all over him. I have no idea what that was about. And then they have disappointing dance moves. And then at the end, they all run into a vehicle and drive away in a van because they're embarrassed to still be there.
Sad, sad story. All right, the next music video we have is Lil Pump, and it is called, it's the same song, Racks on Racks. You saw kind of the second half of this, I think.
Yeah. You'll give a better description than I will. I'll hand it to you.
It looked like they were on an airport runway area, and they're basically shooting fake fireworks out of guns. It was really dumb. It was dumb, but obviously it's a Lil Pump, so I'm a sucker for him, and I was like, oh, I don't mind this.
I know, you seemed like, yeah, this song's
and they
good.
were, they were blowing up cars and things like that, but it was music video was weird. I mean, it wasn't worth it wasn't as good as his last music video, which was Butterfly Doors. That music video was great. So this one kind of falls short, but the song itself, not bad. There you go.
The next one is Low Key by Ali Brooke featuring Tiger. And we already mentioned the song before, Low Key, Low Key, Low Key. The video was low key, pretty lame, once again. Began with a guy watching a girl talk to another girl, saying, "Are you going to dance with that guy?" She's like, "No, he's just my friend." And then he gets sad. And then the video progresses, and then they dance in the end. And hurrah.
I felt like they tried to make a story, and it just sucked.
There was no need for this story.
It sucked. And then on top of that, how low of a budget are these music videos, actually having, where they can't put the two people or the person featured in the song in the music video together?
Oh, yeah, you said that about Sam Smith.
Yeah.
And
because they weren't together,
now about
right?
this one.
So they were shot separate at separate days or separate times.
This one was so obvious. Where
This
Tyga
one was
looked
so,
nothing like the place that the
it had
girl
a blue filter on it. I don't know. It just didn't. Whatever.
Did you watch the last one on this list?
No, I did not.
With
So
this
it's all
girl that
you.
you haven't heard of.
All you.
I'm not familiar with this girl. She looks familiar to me, but it's called 6 Feet Under by Trisha Paytas. And she may be like a YouTuber or maybe a YouTube musician, because Shane Dawson, if you're familiar, was in the video for a little bit. But this is her going to a funeral of a girl who she says is just like her, and her kind of realizing, life is short, that could have been me who had my life end early. It's actually not a bad video.
Do you see the girl in the casket?
You see the artist in the casket imagining herself.
So it's her. Okay.
You see her imagining herself in the position of
I got it.
having been in that place.
That's interesting. I like that. That's creative.
Yeah. So
I
it's
like
not
that.
too bad.
What was your top music video this week?
I would probably... I like the fact that I don't know what was happening in the Calvin Harris one, so that one was interesting to me.
There's got to be a greater meeting there, too.
There's got to be. And then there's the Billie Eilish one. I'm gonna just stick with Calvin Harris.
All right, and now we are going into the song recommendations. What you guys just heard was a little bit of Denzel Curry's Clout Cobain. That was my song recommendation for David last week.
Mm-hmm.
David,
Sammy.
take the floor.
So, I don't know, is Denzel Curry, right? I don't know any songs by him. I don't think I do. I'm not too familiar with him. Anyways, I loved this song. I really did. I really enjoyed it. And I think why is because it's got the stinking ominous dark beat in the back, and I love the way it sounds.
It reminds you of any artist specifically? The sounds, I mean, the roots of what he was going for.
No, I actually don't know if it did. Is he trying to go for Cobain?
No.
I know he calls him out.
He has a lot of like roots from 2000s, 2010s rappers. So your older Kendrick Lamar,
Okay.
your older J. Cole, your older Schoolboy Q, your older A$AP Rocky, right? Those are kind of his roots for his music.
I also really...
But he puts that modern twist on it.
I really like his style of, like, the way that he raps. I really like that style, too. And his flow is phenomenal. And he's got a lot of energy.
Oh, yeah.
That always helps.
Yep.
So, I don't know. It's a hype song. It's got that twisted beat.
I'm glad you liked it.
And,
if you liked it so much, you should check out the rest of the album.
I'm totally checking him out in the future.
Check out the rest of the album, because the rest of the album is very much like that song.
And the video was cool, too.
So, yeah, I haven't... excuse me. I have not seen the...
He's like a
video.
creepy clown. I didn't look at it too much because I was focused on listening to it, but it's just real good sound. I really liked it.
All right. And what's your song recommendation for me for next week?
So I changed this up, but I had to give you this song because you always say Funkadelic. So...
Did you find this song?
No, I was aware of this song previously.
Okay. All right.
It's called Alcoholic by a band called Tropodelic. The band is called Tropodelic.
So it's an alcoholic tropodelic.
There you go.
I could not say that 3 times fast.
And I think you'll like it. It's there's not even a million this is their top song. There's not even a million listens on Spotify. So it's a very ironically, I'm going to mention this a little bit later, Bunbury in Cincinnati, but they will actually be there as well. So they're kind of known in Ohio.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, who is the band?
Tropodelic.
Oh, Tropodelic. Yeah. I'm interested to hear what it sounds like.
So we'll see.
So, anyways, what was your details on Bunbury that you wanted to talk about?
I just wanted to mention that they just announced the Bunbury lineup, I think yesterday or the day before. So there's going to be Fall Out Boy, Greta Van Fleet, the 1975 Run the Jewels. I'm not familiar with them. Girl Talk, NF, AWOL Nation, Machine Gun Kelly, Sublime. A lot of good bands in here. And just because I like the band name, there's a band called Pigeons Playing Ping Pong that's very similar to Tropodelic, but they're going to be there as well.
All right. And I also had a little bit of concert news this week. I looked a little bit into Summerfest, and I found out that they have announced some of their headliner announcements. They have not announced all of it yet, but they announced some of them. So you got Thomas Rhett and Dustin Lynch, Jason Aldean and Kane Brown, Bon Iver and Lord Huron, and Zach Brown Band and Ozzy Osbourne.
Nice.
And they have over 790 more artists to announce. So I'm looking forward to that concert, and that's in Milwaukee. So, yeah.
All right, and then also I wanted to say they announced the country mega ticket for Cincinnati as well for Riverbend Music Center, which is I think one of the better ones in a while. It's got Florida Georgia Line, Thomas Rhett, Jason Aldean, Rascal Flatts, Dierks Bentley, Luke Bryant, and Brad Paisley. So that's quite a lineup for the summer for you country folks. And that concludes the Sunken Submarine Podcast, Week 3 of Season 2.
Feels real good.
It always feels good.
It really does. Anyways, it was a good episode. Tune in next week for my song review. Plus, obviously, we got Ariana Grande's album coming out. That's big news.
That'll be crazy.
So, because obviously she's been in our news basically every week since the first week. Literally.
No matter what, she finds a way to be in the news.
So anyways,
I think next week's going to be like a bright week. Like this one was a lot of dark songs, I felt like.
Oh, I totally agree.
So,
it was. So
I'm feeling an upbeat mood next week.
It better be. Anyways, we flew through this episode today. Normally these things take us a while. This one, we got through quick.
We did.
Hope you enjoyed.
John Lennon, 50 years ago, you finally got to take a break.
Performed for the last time.
Because you broke up the band, but we still love you.
R.I.P. My legend. My love.
Never forget. Arrivederci, my friends.
Goodbye.